Hello, everyone. I wanted to er, talk to you about how to set up your Taxprolink account once you have actually made the purchase, and how easy it is to get your tax office set up. It takes no more than 20 to 25 minutes to get everything set up within Taxprolink for all your offices. And remember, since we're working in the cloud, this can be done remotely. You don't have to go to any office to do this. You can simply set it up, and once they log in, they're ready to go. So we'll start. We're already logged into the system. Again, you'll have to be logged in as the admin account. Once you're in the admin account, you'll simply go to Setup, and in the Setup, the first option it gives you is the Prepare info. So as you can see, this is my admin. Here is, we have created a couple of test accounts for login. So this is the account that your tax preparers or other users in the office will be doing. So simply to create a new prepare, you'll go in and type in the user ID that you want to give them. And it will give you the criteria that you need to meet for that password. You'll confirm that password. Give them a hint. And once you're in there, then of course you want to get their PTIN set up. Put the phone number in. I would keep this as your office number and not their personal number. Email address, if they have a company email address. Preparer's name. And then prepare type. Are they a CPA? Are they enrolled agent? Are they an attorney? Are they data entry only? So for most of us, everybody should be a PTIN holder, and you would put them down as a registered tax preparer. Then prepare PIN signature numbers. So certain states have requirements like New York, New Mexico, Oregon. They have their own numbers, just like PTIN, that they issue to their preparers. So you want to enter those in if you're from one of those states. User options. These are important. Do you want to list all the taxpayers to this user? So do you want him to see everybody in the office, or this tax preparer can only see his clients? So if you say yes, then he can see everybody, or she can see everybody. Or if you say no, then it will only list his clients or her clients with him. So that's something, if this person is just dealing with this person is dealing with their own clients, then you would just say no. But if they need to pick up the phone and answer questions, then you would want to say yes, because then they would have to have access to everybody. Allow users to delete client records. I would not recommend that you check this for anybody. This should be owner or a higher level manager option only. Delete firm records. I wouldn't want to check that either. Modify invoice and pricing. This is your choice. If you want to give them the opportunity to modify the invoice, but a lot of folks like it that they don't have the ability to change the invoice. File amended returns, print tax forms, disable view and print config options, and email a tax return. So you can check what you want them to have. And then admin access. Do you want to give them select all? This here, do you want them to be able to have access to the client information or e-file? Do you want them to have the option for them to get into the scheduler? Do you want them to have the option to get into the letters, banks, reports, form setup? So this is basically what can they get into the software. You can limit them to these things, and once you uncheck some of these, then they won't even see this option on their once they log into the system. So let's create. All right, so we didn't select any user privileges, so it wants us to do that, and also an email address is required. So these are some things that you'll have to input. So let's say we just give them the option for e-file and client and bank. And let's create this user. So now we have this user created, and you would create these users as you need them. So you can get rid of a user. So you can simply delete the user. Again, let's take a look at login security. For login security, these are additional questions that they would have to answer in case they get locked out, but we're not worried about that. So that's how you would create a new user. Let's come over to firm. So under firm info, you'll have your contact person, name of your firm, address, email address, and the phone number, fax number. These are things that are going to get printed on the tax return, so you want to make sure this is the information that you would want. Federal EIN number. If there is a state ID number, firm's EFIN, so this is the number you need to have in there for you to be able to e-file. If you don't have this number, the software is not going to give you the ability to e-file. DCN number, this is the number that is used as a tracking number. So you'll see that number. It's gonna be a mixture of the DCN number that you assign. So usually I like to start at 10,000, and then it will have this number. It'll have your EFIN number, and that's how you'll see the tracking number when you e-file a tax return. So this DCN number will be there. Let's save the changes to our firm info. And let's go to pricing. Pricing, you have a few options here. So fixed rate for all returns. So let's say you only want to charge $300 for each return that you do. And that's it. So you can set that as fixed rate. All returns are going to be $300. Next option is set price per form. So this is the option which majority of the tax preparers are using. And in this option, what happens is you have the ability to assign a price to each form. So let's say for 1040 you want to charge $100. For 1040A you want to charge $85, and 1040 Easy you want to charge $60. Then you would move on to your schedules. And for Schedule A, if somebody had a Schedule A, you would charge the software will automatically add on $25. If the client had a Schedule B, it would automatically add on $10. Schedule C, it would automatically add on 70, and so on and so forth. Then you would go to others, and then these are forms. So if your preparer filled out a W-7 for this client to get the ITIN number, then that would be $25. And you can change these prices to what you think is going to take your prepare and how much time is being spent on each form. Worksheets, and then if you want to see all these forms together, you can start going down the list and filling these out to each form that you guys use and price it the way you would like it. The next option that we have is set price manually after each return. So when you check that, after each return, it would give you an option to price the return. So let's say at the end, it would be $10, $50, $100, whatever you would like to charge. For state returns, it's going to give you an option to price these per state. So for Alabama, let's say you want to charge $50. Arkansas, you want to charge $50, and so on and so forth. So you could put a price that you would like for all your states to be charged. Same thing, you can have a fixed rate for all state returns, set the price manually after each state return, set price for all forms in each state. So you have multiple options to have an invoice done the way you would like it. Again, people who have multiple users or multiple offices usually choose the option for set price per form. This way, if your preparer is spending more time or doing more forms for somebody, they're charged accordingly. If you're a single person office, then you might want to use set price manually after every return. This way you don't have to worry about discounts. But let's talk about discounts. You can have multiple types of discounts in here. So discounts for federal. Let's do a discount, and then this discount is $50. Add discount. So now when your preparers need to do a discount, they type in new discount, and the return will automatically get $50 off. Any additional charges that you might want to charge, these are, again, you can name it, and this would just be more time and $99. You do that. So next time one of your clients is taking a little bit more time, you could add that to them, and it would just simply add $99 to that return. Let's go to settings now. And in settings, you have two types. You have the preparer and client level, and then you have the firm level. So under this, let's do the preparer level settings. This is basically how your preparer, when they log in, so the new preparer that we set up, when they log in, these are the things that they would see on their screen. So you could set it up where they don't see the SSN at all, or they see the last four. There are certain things that you can have checked that would show up on their screen. Show blank invoice, high level security for return, default to interview input. So this would be a common one that you might want to do for new preparers, that this would automatically take them to interview input mode and doesn't give them option of doing forms mode. And exclude per form fee on invoice. So these are options that you can do for that specific preparer. Then let's come down, prepare preferences. So these would be preferences that they would see again on Client Manager for this specific client. So do you want them to see the date of birth? You want them to see the city. You might not want them to know your EFIN number. AGI, that would be a good one, because if they're picking up a call and the client needs to see what the AGI is, then they can simply they don't have to open the return. Federal refund or owe, how much that is, that would would be some good information. And client print returns, default all returns to 1040. So this will take away the option of doing the 1040 easy or the 1040A. It would automatically have all the returns being done in 1040s. Use current date as signature date. Show the firm name. Use default as printable mode or view return. Print name under the signature. I do like this option. This way you know whose signature it is. Return values, pull federal wages to box 16 for state. So if you want to make it a little bit easy, this wouldn't be a bad option to check. So that way it'll automatically take the box 1 and it will take it to the state wages. Generally, that is the case. Just make sure your preparers understand that if they might have multiple states, that amount might be different. Round every money field to the nearest dollar. That's a good option. That way, if they're putting in pennies, it will automatically just default it to the next dollar. Default prepare as third-party designee. That is, again, your option if you want to talk to the IRS or you want to have the ability to talk to the IRS on the client's behalf. This would be an option. I don't recommend it, but that's an option that you have. And do you want to update the same configuration for more users? So if you check that, then it'll give you the ability to do this for multiple preparers. And now if you go to the firm level, so next is the firm level option. Letterhead. So on the letterhead, what do you want? Letterhead information, firm name, preparer name, firm address, and so on. You can uncheck and check whatever you would like. Client information, same thing, client name, phone number, and all that information. Letter signature information. Who do you want it to be signed by the preparer or the firm? Firm information and logo position. Print firm information on top left. So how would you like to see the letterhead? And then you have the ability to upload your logo onto the return. And that's an awesome option to have, because now all your letters are going to be having your logo on it. And then you can preview the letter. And I'll show you how the letter is going to look like. Again, we don't have the logo uploaded, but it would put the logo somewhere here. And these are the options. And then you can type whatever you want in this letter, and the codes are provided to you. So invoice information. What would you like on your prefixes on the invoice? So you can set it up the way you would like it. Invoice started sequence, office location. You could have a different location, and you can set it up so that way you know which office that invoice is for. And then for your bank products, check here if you would like to treat all bank payments as invoice until it is fully paid. So again, for some accounting setup here, how you would like to see that invoice. Do you want to see that as all bank payments as an invoice until it's fully paid, or not? Check here to show detailed fee disclosure for bank products. So these are some of the options. Email configuration. How would you like when you send out an email? You have these things already set up. You can modify this to the way you would like it. And we have given you some labels, so you can add taxpayer SSN if you want to, or take out some of these things, and you'll see that it's going to have the preparer's name, the firm name, address, and so on. So if you would like to remove or add some of these things, you can do that. Printer preferences. And these preferences is how would you like, or what would you like this return or this prepared to be having as a printer setup? Do you want to just print the client copy and not the prepared copy? The good thing about Taxprolink is that when you sign the return, it's giving you that copy in Taxprolink. So you actually don't need to print it if you don't want. You have an electronic file cabinet in the system. So if you don't want to print your own copy, you don't have to. You can have the option of printing signature forms only and add watermark. I like to add watermark to especially the client copy, just in case if you gave them a copy and let's say their file got rejected and the client and they were a bank product, they haven't paid you in cash. Then this client has a copy that they can simply mail it and don't have to pay you. But if you have a watermark on it, then they can't send that in. They would have to come back to you. You would know that it's a paper return, and they would have to pay you to be able to send that return in. Again, it's your option if you want to do that. I like to do that. And again, if you want to have a prepared copy, you can check it. If you have a filing copy, you might want to check it. But again, these would be the two that you want to have. Include letters, include bank documents. So you can have, if you want the client to have the include bank documents. Watermark settings. Watermark settings, which one do you want to have the watermark? so client copy, and you can actually type in what you want it to say. So preview return only, do not file, or whatever you want that text to say, it will have that option, or you will have that option to do that. Signature preferences. What forms do you want to be signed automatically when you sign? So again, you check all four, one signature will sign everything, and you're compliant. So you don't have to worry about signatures. And return settings. These are some of the return stages that are set up. So created is created. And if you want to change these names, you have the ability to change these names. EIN database. So these are databases of EINs that you either already have from previous years, but since this is a new account, you don't have these, or you can actually add some folks already in there before you get started. So you have, let's say you have a common employer in your vicinity that you do a lot of W-2s for. So maybe Ford Motor Company or whatever might be near you. And so you can put that information in, so that way it automatically pops up when you do your first return. As you're adding W-2s in, it's creating a database. So you can actually go in and let's say something changed on one of the W-2s, you'll be able to modify that. Again, this account doesn't have a lot of returns, so that's why, or W-2s in them, so that's why it doesn't have anything showing. Let's go to the info tab. And in info, you have multiple options actually. One of the things I like in is prepare a login summary. So you can see for this preparer, when was the last time they logged in. So let's look at this preparer and see how they're logging. It's gonna pull a report for what time, how long were they in for, and then what is the IP address that they were using. Remote location, if you have multiple remote locations, then you can pull that up. And then if you would like to set up your prior year sites, then you can simply click the year that you want to set up. But that option is given later on. It's not available at this time. So that is how you set up your office. And it doesn't take any more than 20 to 25 minutes to go through thoroughly and set up everything before the tax season starts. And you can always come back and make these changes. You can change the way some of the settings work. So let's say later on you want to come back in and look at pricing. You can always come back in as an admin and change pricing. If you need to change firm information, add or delete prepare. So this is where you would do that. Well, I had a great time doing this video, and let's knock out the competition with Taxprolink. Again, our phone number is 800-746-8901, and we look forward to working with you this tax season. Have a good one, guys.